Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing? We on a break?
Good.
Good, boss.
Good, good. All right. Well, I got the videos all queued up. I'm ready to go. So we'll see how it goes. We'll start at maybe about 5:05, 5:10.
Hello.
Can hear you, Wendy.
Oh,
Wendy.
hello. Jason's asking for the link.
All right, everybody. So for the sake of time, I want to go ahead and just get started. First off, I want to say good evening to everybody. And tomorrow is a holiday. So Mystis Adult and Family Services will be closed. So I hope that staff and clients enjoy their weekend and enjoy time with family and friends and honoring those who have served. Tonight we are going to be talking about some a motivational topic that I think will really help most people who don't know about it. If you already know about it, I'm sure you just put it into practice right away. Um, we'll watch a couple motivational videos and then we'll get a chance to discuss. There will be an opportunity for everybody to tell how they feel, and if there's nothing to say, then we'll wish you a good night. And again, we're just so thankful that you're here with us tonight. Um, if you have any questions, I ask that you ask your questions at the end. You may think that we cannot see you, but we can. This is a webinar. It's a little bit different than the regular Zoom, so it's set up a little bit differently. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm sure everybody's aware of our food bank. So if you still need access to our food bank, make sure you contact your case manager so you can get signed up for that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started.
Services is a state and federally funded agency working hard to assist Washingtonians with housing stability issues. We often help clients find, retain, and keep housing for good through case management and connections to community resources. With over a decade of experience on the federal, state, county, and local government levels, we have the experience needed to get people moving in the right direction. We offer a supported housing and employment program. In our employment program, we help clients get, maintain, and increase employment stability and connect clients to vocational opportunities. Call us today for an intake Monday to Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 1-800-524-4827 or visit us online at www.mysticares.org.
Most of you are familiar with the Mystis commercial, especially if you've been with us every day. So again, we're very appreciative of you being here. This is really an opportunity for us to spend time with you and also to share with you some knowledge and hopefully things that'll change your life. So here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, in 3 years, I doubled my MBA income in the marketplace. You hearing what I'm saying? And I've never had a real job, but I got a mindset. Lesson number 1. For you to get to that next level, here's what you need: information. You need to get information. No offense, I don't even watch TV. CNN don't pay my bills. Okay? Power don't pay my bills. I don't even watch TV. I might catch a sporting event, or don't get mad about a football game. I love to watch football. But I don't watch TV. Why? It's unproductive in my opinion. I get 24 hours a day just like Bill Gates. I get 24 hours a day just like Beyonce and Jay-Z. You get 24 hours a day, ladies and gentlemen. What do you do with your 24 hours? You need to get more information. In our coaching program, all we do is drop content nonstop. And people are like, wow, I didn't know that. Wow, I didn't know that. See, you don't even know what you don't know. How did you let me come from behind and clip you? Do you guys know the studies show the better we look, the more money we make? Which means your website should pass the eyeball test. Your truck should pass the eyeball test. Your people should pass the eyeball test. You should pass the eyeball test. Everybody in this room has a promised land somewhere, but you can't be stuck on the city you like. You got to hear God and go to your promised land. Your promised land might be Utah. Your promised land might be Minnesota. Your promised land might be Wyoming. Hear me clearly. You better use your money to get information and access, and you better be flexible, because a real shark is flexible. Can we stop fronting and get real about this thing? And if I can do it, you can do it. I knew nothing about life. I knew nothing about business, but I had the right mindset, and I learned it through sports. And y'all got to hear my story so you understand. I didn't even start on my college basketball team. I came off the bench. At the University of Minnesota, I came off the bench. But in my mind, you can bring me off the bench, but I'm an NBA ball player when you get through talking. When you get through, I'm an NBA ball player. And that's why I would walk around and say, you can't check me. You can't check me. You can't check me. If I was you, I would walk around every day and say, I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I declare it right now. I'm worth millions. I'm worth millions. I will receive my salary right now, but I won't accept it as my value. So whatever you receive right now, receive it, but don't you accept it as your value. Because there's more out here for you if you change your mindset. In my coaching program, I got a concept called the black tie effect. Oh, I wish I had more time. It's called the black tie effect. If you don't own your own tuxedo and go to at least 6 to 10 black tie events in your market, you suck. There's no better way for you to distinguish yourself as a top business leader in your area than to go to black tie events. I didn't say fundraiser. Black tie events attract the top businessmen in your area. And what happens at a black tie event? You sit at a table, and in America we ask 2 questions. What are those 2 questions? What is your name? And what do you do? What is your name? And what do you do? What would happen in your local marketplace? You became known as a philanthropist. What would happen in your local marketplace? You were known as being charitable. What would happen in your local marketplace if all the other business owners who are highly successful not only know your company, but they know you personally? Can I ask you a question? How many black tie events do you go to? When I stopped playing basketball, I had no money coming in, and all I would do is go to black tie events and be around highly successful people. And I would sit at the table. They would ask me my name. And the second question, I was waiting for it. But what do you do? Well, I'm a former NBA player, but now I'm a motivational speaker. And at those black tie events, you know, they attract not only successful business people, they attract the good guys too. See, snake business guys who only care about money, they don't go to black tie events. People who go to black tie events care about their community. People who go to black tie events make a difference in their community. Let me tell you something. I noticed right away at the black tie events, these were the successful people that I wanted to know, and I began to build leverage. I began to build a brand by building relationships with the top business people in my community because I was willing to go to black tie events. There's nothing more important you can do, business owner, than to buy you a tuxedo and go to black tie events, because everybody in the building is going to ask you your name, and they're going to ask you what you do. What would happen if your company became endeared to some charity in your community? Ladies, what better way is it to build the culture? Some of you wives, why don't you drive this? He's busy trying to make money. You drive the charity. You found the organization, and you make sure that your company is synonymous with some philanthropic area in the community. There's nothing better than changing a life. There's nothing better than blessing somebody who's less fortunate. I made a commitment of lifting the spirit of people who were trying to get to that next level. Start your business with charity. There's no better methodology than that. Never forget this, all great brands are built on passion. So before you build your brand, it's not about the color, it's not about the font. All great brands are built on passion. So can I ask you a question? What are you passionate about? See, if you're not passionate about anything, your marketing is going to be ho-hum as well. Does that make sense? You can't build a great brand without passion. Let's take a look at Nike. Phil Knight built Nike and the brand out of passion. He loves to run, and he couldn't find good running shoes. So he said, well, I'll just start a company and make some myself, because a good runner needs to have good shoes. He's built an international brand based on passion. If you want to be a millionaire, you got to think like $1 million person. You can't fake this thing. Y'all hear what I'm saying? You got to be legit in this game. You can't fake it to the NBA. You got to be able to ball out. You got to be able to hoop. You got to be legit. And in business, it's the same way. You got to be legit. So take your money and get some information in your head, and then take some money and get access. I got 3 kids, and this is why you got to get access, so you can make life easier for your kids. Well, ain't nobody do nothing for me. Oh, your mindset is jacked up. Ain't nobody do nothing for me, so I ain't gonna do nothing for my kids. You ain't thinking about your legacy. Right now, it's like a track meet. You're running a 4x1, 100-meter dash. 4x1, and your baton is in your hand. And let me tell you something. I want you to run as strong as you can, as fast as you can, as hard as you can, and one day you're gonna get old. One day your knees gonna buckle. And your son gonna be right behind you. Your daughter gonna be right behind you, and at a track meet, they yell, stick. And you got to make a successful handoff to the athlete in front of you. And that's your son, that's your daughter. So can you do me a favor? You got to get on that track and run because the baton is in your hand right now. And to me, 50 grand ain't enough to live your dreams. To me, 80 grand ain't enough to live your dreams. Who's trying to live in that big house? Who's trying to live in that big car? Who's trying to retire with some real money in the bank? Ladies and gentlemen, you guys know the average American only has $1,500 in savings? You're a car accident away from going broke. Hear me closely. Don't sell product. Sell hopes and dreams. Don't sell product. Sell hopes and dreams. Don't sell product again. Sell hopes and dreams. I give myself away and blessings come my way. In your community, be charitable. In your community, be a giver. In your community, get to know the other givers, and I promise you one thing, something's gonna happen to your heart, something's gonna happen to your culture, and the lagging indicator, something's gonna happen to your pocket.
All right. So that's our beginning motivational video. There's one more by Meg, and it's on the 5-second rule. So that's for everybody. I know some of you may be in different stages of your life. I know that some people have dreams or have had dreams to start businesses and to change people's lives and to affect people's lives in different ways. And we try to do that a lot here at Mystis. We try to make sure that you feel the same hope that we feel for our community, that you feel loved and respected by our organization. And so I want to open up the door, open up the floor for anybody to talk. I'm going to go ahead and unmute. Let's keep it. If you have questions about the program or anything like that, you can ask that at the end, but I'm asking for any comments on the video at this time. So.
Pretty motivational. Charity begets charity, benefits untold. Do good, karma comes back to you. But the inspiration from inside fosters inspiration in others. It's contagious.
Absolutely. Anyone else? Thank you,
Yeah,
Scott.
this is Lorinda Howard. And I think that people, when you got a lot going on and there's a lot that we're lacking, there's still things that we can give. A lot of times it's time or maybe or just some good wisdom to somebody else. But I think it's always good to give back. So I agree with that.
Absolutely. Give up your talent. Anyone else?
Yes. Hi, it's Regina speaking. I like doing things with the community. Some years ago, I always wanted to help the community. So I thought I had like a what you call a nonprofit organization, but I don't think I did the full potential of it. But I was able to get toys from Toys for Tots. And we used to buy food and we used to pass them out to friends and family and people that we didn't know that was in need. So I like giving back to the community and helping out. It's just a great way to help out. Even if you're going through something in life, it's still good to be a giver.
Absolutely. It helps. It grows you as a person like so much. And you just feel so connected to the community and you kind of discover yourself a little bit more. Sometimes we can isolate a lot and we just kind of, think about like, what we got to do instead of, hey, let me go out here and just donate my time at the soup kitchen or, maybe at the women's shelter. There's somebody going through something worse than me right now. Maybe that's the way I get back to my community and myself and leave a legacy. Anybody else?
Yes, yes, boss. By the way, this is Zeph. So basically I always put in mind about what I have learned about reading some thoughts or some scriptures about Buddha, all that we are is the result of what we have thought, what we think, what we think is what we become. So basically it's more on the right mindset to be more productive and to help and to help to others.
Exactly.
Hi
Exactly.
everyone, this is Charlize. I also want to add to that. I think what really got my attention was that at the start of the video, they mentioned that everyone has 24 hours in a day. Everyone has the same hours. It all matters whether we get up in the morning and do something about a situation or not. I know it may be hard for some to get out of bed and to be motivated, but it it's a simple mindset of thinking. Is it a yes or a no? Am I yes gonna change my life today or am I no gonna wait another day? So I think that's what really spoke to me in that video.
Very well put. Very well put. Thank you. Anybody else want to share?
Hi, this is Anna R. So I just believe that it's just giving and not expecting anything in return has a lot. You know, you give what you can when you can without expecting anyone to recognize or give back to you. And that's one thing I have, that I'll always give without expecting anything back.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Anna. I appreciate that. Anna R. Any last comments? We'll move on to the next video. Tonight's going to be a kind of short series because we're closed tomorrow and it's a holiday, but we also just wanted to make good use of your time. It don't have to be long videos every night, right? Any other comments? All right. Well, let's get started on our last and final video for the evening. Mel Robbins.
There are so many people in the world, and you may be watching this right now, and you have these incredible ideas, and what you think is missing is motivation. And that's not true. Because the way that our minds are wired, and the fact about human beings, is that we are not designed to do things that are uncomfortable or scary or difficult. Our brains are designed to protect us from those things because our brains are trying to keep us alive. And in order to change, in order to build a business, in order to be the best parent, the best spouse, to do all those things that you know you want to do with your life, with your work, with your dreams, you're going to have to do things that are difficult, uncertain, or scary, which sets up this problem for all of us. You're never going to feel like it.
Why do you think that is?
Oh, I know exactly why that is. Because I've studied this so much, because for me, one of the hardest things to figure out was, why is it so hard to do the little things that would improve my life? And what I've come to realize is that the way that our minds are designed is our minds are designed to stop you at all costs from doing anything that might hurt you. The way that this all happens is it all starts with something super subtle that none of us ever catch. And that is with this habit that all of us have that nobody's talking about. We all have a habit of hesitating. We have an idea, you're sitting in a meeting, you have this incredible idea, and instead of just, saying it, you stop and you hesitate. Now, what none of us realize is that when you hesitate, just that moment, that micro moment, that small hesitation, it sends a stress signal to your brain. It wakes your brain up, and your brain all of a sudden goes, oh, wait a minute, why is he hesitating? He didn't hesitate when he put on his killer spiky sneakers. He didn't hesitate with the really cool track pants. He didn't hesitate with the NASA t-shirt. Now he's hesitating to talk, something must be up. Then your brain goes to work to protect you. It has a million different ways to protect you. One of them is called the spotlight effect. It's a known phenomenon where your brain magnifies risk. Why? To pull you away from something that it perceives to be a problem. And so you can truly trace every single problem or complaint in your life to silence and hesitation. Those are decisions. What I do and what's changed my life is waking up and realizing that I'm never going to feel like doing the things that are tough or difficult or uncertain or scary or new. So I need to stop waiting until I feel like it. And number two, I am one decision away from a totally different marriage, a totally different life, a totally different job, a totally different income, a totally different relationship with my kids. Not like one decision, I'm divorcing you in the marriage example, but one decision on, you know, you could be having a conversation with your spouse and you feel your emotions rise up, and within a tiny window, those emotions can take over and can impact how your marriage goes. Or you can learn how to take control of that micro moment and make a decision to act in a way that actually shifts your marriage. Your life comes down to your decisions, and if you change your decisions, you will change everything. In the scheme of life, hitting the snooze button is not that big of a deal. But here's the thing about life. None of us wake up and say, today is the day I destroy my life. What we do is we kind of check out because it feels overwhelming, or we check out because we're afraid, or we check out because we start listening to self-doubt, and then we make these teeny tiny decisions all day long, and we don't even realize it. Decision to not get up on time, a decision to not eat the right thing, a decision to snap at your kids, a decision to not speak in a meeting, a decision to not look for a job, a decision to not deal with your finances, a decision to not call your parents, like whatever it is. All day long, these tiny decisions that take you so far off track. And then you wake up like I did and you look at your life and you think, how the hell did I get here? And more importantly, how do I get back over there? And you have no idea. And so I was so trapped. And I know from your story, you felt the same way. Like you knew that there was more in store for you, but you couldn't figure out, how do you close that gap? How do you find the power that's in you? How do you discover your greatness? How do you solve these problems? It feels so overwhelming when you can't. I mean, I would go to the grocery store and the items would scan and I would be sitting there readying my excuse because there was no way that my check card was going to clear. I got in this struggle with myself that a lot of us find ourselves in, and that is you get trapped in what I call the knowledge action gap. You know what to do, but you can't seem to make yourself do it, right? I mean, every one of us is one Google search away from a list of instructions that if you follow any of them, it will change your life. But how do you get out of your head and stop thinking about what you need to do and actually do it? And in my case, this stuff was pretty easy. Get up on time, make breakfast for the kids, get them on the bus, start looking for a job. Don't drink so much. Instead of isolating yourself, pick up the phone and call a friend. Get yourself out into the woods and go for a walk. Start running again. Like all these little things that I was capable of, but I couldn't get out of here. Could not get out of here. And if you're stuck, that's the problem. The problem is you're in your head, you're thinking. When you set goals, when you have an intention on something that you want to change about your life, your brain helps you. What it does is it opens up a checklist, and then your brain goes to work trying to remind you of that intention that you set. And it's really important to develop the skill, and I say that word purposefully, the skill of knowing how to hear that inner wisdom and that intention kicking in and leaning into it quickly. So for me, my brain saying, that's it, right there, move as fast as a rocket, Mel. I wanted to change my life. And I think most people that are miserable or that are really like dying to be great and dying to have more, we want to change. We want to live a better life. We want to create more for our families. We want to be happier. The desire is there. Again, it's about how do you go from knowledge to action. So the first thing in this story that's important is realizing that the answer was in me. And my mind was telling me, pay attention. Anyway, the next morning, the alarm goes off, and I pretended NASA was there. It's the stupidest story. I literally went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I counted out loud, and then I stood up. And I'll never forget standing there in my bedroom. It was dark, it was cold, it was winter in Boston. And for the first time in 3 months, I had beaten my habit of hitting the snooze button. I couldn't believe it. And I thought, wait a minute, counting backwards? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Well, the next morning I used it again and it worked. The next morning I used it again and it worked. The next morning I used it again and it worked. And then I started to notice something really interesting. There were moments all day long, just like that 5-second moment in bed, where I knew, knowledge, what I should do. And if I didn't move within 5 seconds, my brain would step in and talk me out of it. Every human being has a 5-second window, might even be shorter for you. You have about a 5-second window in which you can move from idea to action before your brain kicks into full gear and sabotages any change in behavior. Because remember, your brain is wired to stop you from doing things that are uncomfortable or uncertain or scary. It's your job to learn how to move from those ideas that could change everything into acting on them. When you understand the power of a 5-second decision, and you understand that you always have a choice to go from autopilot to decision maker, everything in your life will change. You will be a different negotiator, you will be different in sales, you will be unstoppable in the gym, because you will realize the amount of garbage that you put in the way of your hopes, of your dreams, of your potential, of your confidence, of your courage. Everything comes down to the decisions that you make. We all know what to do. None of us know how to make ourselves do it. I started researching it. Why does something so stupid work? Why? Why does something so silly create such powerful and profound change? Well, here's why. The rule is a form of metacognition. Metacognition is a fancy pants term that means something real simple. You can outsmart your own brain in furtherance of goals. There are tricks that you can use that actually outsmart the tricks your brain plays on you in furtherance of a higher purpose. We all know this. You can restrain yourself if you're in a situation that calls for it. You can jump into a raging river to save your dog or your kid. You can direct yourself in ways if it's important to you. And so the rule, what it does is it does something really remarkable. When you count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, what you're actually doing is you're interrupting what researchers call habit loops that get encoded as closed loop patterns in your basal ganglia. That's the part of the brain where your feelings, where your emotions, every habit that you have, which is nothing more than behavior that you repeat, that you don't even think about. And so when you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it interrupts what's going on here that's spinning without you thinking, and it moves and awakens your prefrontal cortex. So when you hit 1, your habit has been interrupted. So you've interrupted self-doubt, you've interrupted maybe snapping at your kids, you've interrupted the desire to grab for a drink, you've interrupted procrastination. You've also, by counting backwards, done an action. It's awakened your prefrontal cortex. That is the part of the brain that you need that's awake when you're changing behavior, when you're learning new things. When you hit 1, it's also a prompt. So in the language of research, you'll hear people talk about starting rituals. That is something that's proven to help you learn a new habit. The 5-second rule, when you repeat it, becomes a starting ritual that triggers you to act with confidence, that triggers you that this is a moment for courage, that triggers you to shift gears. And because you've also done the manual work of awakening the part of the brain that you need to change, you've set yourself up for success. It doesn't work if you count up, because you can keep going. And also, counting up doesn't require focus. If you count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it again awakens the prefrontal cortex and it prompts you to move. When you start to use it and then you read about it, you'll see that it's being used all over the place. They use it in the armed services in order to align troops and get them to start an exercise. They use it at elementary schools, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, at big assemblies to get a huge room full of kids to stop talking.
Really simple and interesting example, yeah.
Because it requires you to focus. It's not a habit. It will become a habit that prompts you to have confidence and courage. But in the beginning, it interrupts patterns of behavior that you do on autopilot. It helps you assert control, and it teaches you how to become the kind of person that moves from thinking about something to actually doing it. I think we're all flawed, and that's the beauty of who you are. And instead of trying to make yourself perfect in every area, it's so much easier when you accept the things that you're terrible at, or that are your weaknesses, or that are the things about your wiring. Look, if I were diabetic, I would take insulin. I happen to be somebody that's wired for anxiety. Right. No big deal. So figure out how to, instead of fighting those things, actually trick it. Because the truth is that you're never gonna feel ready to make these changes. You're never gonna feel like doing them, but you can always make a decision. That's always in your control. Staying with somebody that treats you like garbage is a decision. It is. Staying at a job that you hate is a decision. Staying in the body that you are not proud of is a decision. Is it going to be easy? No, it's not going to be easy to change. It's simple. Do a Google search and then use the 5-second rule to force yourself to do that stuff. Change comes down to 5-second decisions, and this is why the 5-second rule is important for everybody to know. It's your job to push yourself. And I don't care if you're Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., or you're Michelangelo, or you're Lin-Manuel Miranda, who wrote Hamilton, you will struggle with self-doubt. And everybody that you admire, everybody, and the list is the same for everybody. Oh, Oprah Winfrey, and I want to be like, Tom, and I want to be like, Branson, and I want to be like Jay-Z, and I want, everybody's list is the same. Bill Gates, and do you know what those people do? They do not have the habit of hesitating. They trust themselves.
Right. So trust yourself. We ended on a very, very, very powerful note. Trust yourself and implement the 5-second rule. It's extremely important, to believe in yourself and allow yourself to be able to do the things that you want for yourself. All right. So I have opened it up for anybody to jump in and make a comment, if you would like, on the video or anything that you found insightful about it. Go ahead. Are we here, clients? Don't be shy. Staff. Hi, Rose. We got you. We got you.
Sometimes trusting ourselves can be our biggest fear that negate us from doing what we want to do in life.
Yes, exactly. It's very, very true. It's we hear it all the time in different ways. Like, there are some people that she mentioned, like musicians who are famous now, maybe Beyonce, but we don't know exactly, or maybe she said it in the past that she used to be shy. Everybody starts off somewhere, and either you overcome it and become, very successful, or, it holds you back, or maybe you have to fine tune it. Ruthie?
I was just going to say, I was always surprised when I heard about famous people, successful people. I've heard a few of them. And when they tell you about all the failures that they had, in their lives, just knowing that they had these failures, because we always think, oh, everything they touched was gold and they had it, everything went well for them. But when they tell you, how many times they failed, it actually makes you have more confidence in yourself to at least, to try something, because like I said, they fail and they just kept trying and trying. And that's sometimes the difference in all of it.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. All right. Well, does anybody else want to make a comment? Last comment? Anyone else? Just take yourself off of mute. All right. Well, that is it for the night. Diana, are you here? Can you take
Yes,
it
boss.
away? You take it away with the last part of
With
the
our
day,
wheel
or
of
the last part of the
names.
show, the wheel of names. Yes, there it is.
Yes.
There it is. If you are present, please raise your hand, clients, so that we can make sure that your name is in the drawing for the $25. Please raise your hand.
Boss,
You can make
please
sure your
enable
name
screen
is there.
sharing.
Okay, hold on. Got you, got you. All right.
Okay. So I have your names here, but I do have one number. Kindly put in the chat your complete name.
I think that's earned.
Okay.
I think.
Can everyone see their names here? I mean the clients.
This is Daniel E. Oh, it's okay. I'm sorry, Daniel.
Anyone who
Thank you,
can't
Scott.
see
Thank you,
their,
Scott.
anyone can see their name here? All right. I guess we're good to go. Let's get started. First spin.
Looks like Clifford Jenkins, you have won $25 as a thank you for coming out and enjoying the video today. We're only going to be pulling one name today. That's it. Does anybody else have any questions or concerns? Mr. Clifford will be reaching out to you to get you your prize. Josue?
I'm sorry.
Did you have a question?
Oh, no.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I really appreciated spending this time with you. You have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we'll see you back again on Monday at 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. Have a great day.
Okay, bye-bye. Have a good weekend.
Bye-bye. Have a safe weekend. Be safe out there.
Thank you, everyone.
And staff,
Happy
you are welcome to
weekend.
go. Enjoy
Bye,
your
guys.
weekends.
See you guys Tuesday.
Please be safe.
Bye.
Please be safe.
Bye,
Be
everyone.
safe,
Have
Thanks,
a great
staff.
boss. Bye,
weekend.
everybody.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
And thank you for serving.
Bye.
Happy
Bye,
holidays.
Scott.
Good weekend.
Bye-bye. Good night. I'll
Good
see you
night.
soon.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.